crap, okay, and he's getting ready to get fired, so he then goes and steals from his master, right? And then the master praises him. And he says, go do like Jesus says, it makes really weird commentary on this, and it freaks everybody out, like, what the heck? He steals. And then from his master praises him. Jesus is seminal teaching on money, and how he views money, and how money, how money should be used in this life. So here's the parable.
Sorry to interrupt.
Hey, see you, man.
Good to see you, bro. Yeah, nice to meet you in person. Are you this Brian? Yeah. Nice to meet you. I'm Whitney. But heard great things about it.
So here's the interpretation. Rich man is God. That's the rich man. He owns cattle on 1,000 hills. He owns the earth. He owns everything in your bank account. You are the steward. And in fact, he owns everything in your bank account. But have you ever treated the stuff in your bank account as if it was yours? Ever? Yes. Right? So we can be accused of being unfaithful to what he's given us, right? Because we treat what he's given us as if it was ours. And so he says, you can no longer be steward. Prepare yourself, you're no longer steward. Well, that is this life. It's the temporality of this life. So if you have 40 years old, do you know that's 15,000 days? 15,000 days, then it's over.
Yeah, it does.
Then it's over. And when you're 1 billion years old, you'll be a young whippersnapper in heaven, right? So this life is the blink of an eye, and it's almost over. So you have this limited window of time, this brief opportunity, this little window where you can take that which does not belong to you, which you cannot keep, right? When you die, 100% of you, everything you've built, all your customer lists, your databases, your checking, it goes away. It's given to someone else, right? So you have this limited amount of time to take that which does not belong to you, which you can't keep, and exchange it for that which does belong to you, which you keep forever. And he says, make friends for yourself by means of unrighteous mammon. So I wrote a big check to Tim Tebow, right? Took a bunch of money and wrote it, and so imagine this. I get hit by a bus, tomorrow I stand before Jesus, and he lines up all the little kids that go, you're the guy that wrote the check that changed my life for eternity. Thank you so much. You follow me? You get the picture? It's take that, convert the temporal to the eternal. And he's happy when you do that. He's piling all these blessings and these riches upon you, hoping, knowing that you only have a moment with it, hoping you will do what he would do, which is give it away to make friends for eternity. And he said 3 times, in Luke he called money a little thing, a very little thing. But it also determines your eternal destiny. So that's the whole message of Luke 19. That's the message of Matthew 25. It determines your eternal destiny, how you treat money. So take money, convert it. It says, he said, he was unfaithful with what is in others will not be given more. He said he is faithful with what is in others with his. How can you be? Let me get it right. Because it's profound the way he wraps it up. Profound the way he wraps it up. So it's a little 80-page book, but it's absolutely thunderous and something. So he discounts it. Master praised the crooked manager. Let me go. Whoever can be trusted with a very little thing can also be trusted with much. So this very little thing is trusted with his earthly riches. He calls the riches a very little thing. 3 times in Luke, he calls money a very little thing. But he who's faithful with that can be trusted with much. So it's actually a test. If you're faithful with money, he is going to entrust you with a lot more. And he expounds that in Luke 19. What is the more? I'll tell you what it is. So he is trusted with very little, being trusted with much, and who is ever dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much, or unfaithful with much. So he won't trust you. If you've not been trustworthy handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? Not God, not the Father. So he gives you wealth. It's a test. It's a ginormous test to see what you'll do with it. And if you've not been trusted with someone else's property, who will give you property as your own? If you're not faithful with that which is another's, how you'll be faithful with your own? Because you'll never get it. So he's saying everything has been given to you. Be faithful with it, which is being generous. Convert it from temporal to eternal. And no one can serve two masters. You'll hate the one and love the other. You'll be devoted to the other and despise the other. You can't serve God and money. It's thunderous. So I live my life around this. I know I'm going to be, everything I have is going to be, it's going to be gone. 100%. Every dollar I earn. Right? Not long. 20 years is 7,000 days. And I'm not even guaranteed that. So we better get rid of this. So Luke 19, you're staring at me, so I'll give you more. I'll give you another one. Luke 19. A rich man went away to receive a kingdom and then return. Well, who's the rich man? God, Jesus. He's coming back. Right? So he says he entrusted his wealth to 3 guys, and he said, do business until I return. Right? Well, we know this parable, number one, it applies to this age because he has not yet returned, right? He's gone, hasn't come back yet. So literally, this is a parable that is a timely parable that actually applies right now to the moment we find ourselves. And when he returned, he says, give an account for yourself. So the 3 guys came, and the guy said, Master, your mina has earned 10 more. Remember what he got as a reward? Everybody gets this wrong. You're a Bible scholar. What did Jesus give the guy who's faithful with the mina and earned 10 more? What did Jesus give him?
I remember right. So 3 more minas, so I'm trying to use 5, 10. I get it confused between that and the talents.
Right. No. And it's the most important parable for you to understand in this life. The most, and no one teaches it. I've never heard it taught except out of my own mouth. And it's absolutely changes everything about your life. He said, well done, good and faithful servant. Because you've been faithful with this mina and you've earned 10 more, be in charge of 10 cities. Okay, well, what a cool little weird concept. Except what if it's not? So Jesus is coming back, right? You believe that. How long is he staying? How long is he staying? Come on, Kirsten. It's not debatable. Here it says earth is his inheritance. He's staying forever. The kingdom of heaven is coming to earth forever. So he's going to come and he's going to inherit planet Earth, and the kingdom is going to be established on the earth, as we have prayed trillions of times. Let the kingdom of God, right? The kingdom of God come to earth. Let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, right? That's an eternal prayer. So he's coming back. But what if, and he's going to rule, right? It is his inheritance. I can show you 8 scriptures that talk about the earth being Jesus' inheritance. So he's coming back. He's going to rule it as a king over all the earth. Jeremiah 14:9 or Zechariah 14:9. Well, what if he doesn't want 8 billion direct reports? Right. What if he wants to do it with sons and daughters? Who's he going to pick? He who has been faithful with that which is another's will be given his own. I get chills. We will co-rule with Jesus Christ, which it says in Psalm 37. It says, the meek shall inherit the earth. It says, if we're faithful, he will rule with him. It's not talking about heaven. It's talking about earth. Heaven is a temporary reality. It says when he returns, it says all the saints are coming back with him and all the angels. 2 times it says. So heaven is being emptied, and in fact joined to earth. Don't know how it's all going to happen, but that's what it says. So it is. And he's coming back. So we will literally rule and reign. So how does he vet his new rulership? How does he vet them? How does he pick? Primarily, it's how you treated money. And I'm sorry, that that's the interpretation, right? I apologize on behalf of God. But I'm just interpreting the scriptures and saying what it says, right? I don't. We can disagree with his methodology, but that's literally what it says. Both Luke 19 and Luke 16. It's how you treat money, and it's primarily, shows our hearts and shows, I mean, even doing business. You think about, in business. Well, let's say you're going to raise up little kings and queens. You're going to raise up someone who's actually going to rule the earth. What would you want? How many kids you got? Okay. What would you want? Who's your oldest boy?
Isaiah.
What would you want him to know?
In order to rule? A lot of things.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Wouldn't you want him to know conflict resolution, problem solving, how to deal with money? Right. So the point is,
No, we're gonna be in Puerto Rico with John Maxwell this week. I am. Yeah.
Good,
Nice to
man.
meet you.
Good to see you
Good
again.
seeing you. I will. Your book's in my inbox. When do you need that by? Like just when would be an ideal?
Tomorrow's great.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
No, next week is fine.
Okay. Okay. You're stretching. Okay. I will be going to Puerto Rico, so that might be like.
Read it on the plane.
Okay. Okay. I might. All right. I feel like I can. I also feel like I can endorse something without reading word for word. So I will. I look forward to diving into that.
Sounds
So,
good.
all right.
Bless you guys.
Have a good time.
Yeah. Take care.
Okay, so here's the point. What do you want them to know? We want them to learn humility, learn how to treat people well, learn to be kind and charitable. Well, think about how many of those things have you learned running your business? Have you learned resolve conflict, solve problems? Yeah. So the point is, business is a giant kingship discipleship program. It's Daniel's school, right? He learned how to rule and reign. So that's the point of business. The point of business is not just getting as many customers as you can, racking as many dollars as you can. It is learning how to be a king and a queen, right? It says we are a nation of priests and kings. So we have the church understands priests are all believers, right? Since Martin Luther, right? That's what he fought for. You don't need an intermediary, right? But we don't understand the kingship of all believers. That we are actually being trained to rule and reign with Jesus Christ. And that business is the primary tool of doing that. Do business and be like God. And money, how we treat money, is a huge measuring stick of that. So I'm 100% about, and the unfaithful buyer, the guy who buried his talent, called him wicked and lazy. Here, Lord, here's what you've given me is yours. I preserved it for you. I kept it safe. You cannot play it safe. You must multiply what you've been given. You've been given these little 5 children. You got to give it, multiply everything the Lord has given you and your husband. You got to multiply in them and through them. Your business, whatever you've been given, your customers, you got to multiply. Whatever love, whatever solutions, whatever answers, you got to multiply. So it's why I have this relentless growth chip with me. I can't stop. And it's because of this. This is the parable I've lived. These are Jesus' teachings. They rattle around inside you. You can't get rid of them. And anyhow, so these are a couple teachings, books on each.
Well, you're definitely going to publish them now.
I know.
Yeah, marry that one.
I know. Yeah, so I spent the world traveling and speaking all over the world, and then started my business, and really there's just no more speaking, so it's just weird. Right? It's like, and the last book I published, I told you, it was kind of the hopeful view of the planet. I sold 400 copies, So the truth is, if you don't travel and speak and market, books don't sell. So I could go publish them, but to what end?
To what end? Yeah.
But I probably will. I'll probably go and